time I talked to you about collectivity outside your own shell. How after your realization, after your second birth, you become conscious that you are no more an egg, but now you have become part and parcel of the whole. You realize it gradually. In the beginning, only what you feel is nothing but cool breeze blowing into your hands, or maybe little tingling sometimes, or maybe some heaviness to begin with. But then, gradually you realize it. Some people do realize it in a very quick way. But as the infrastructure within is not properly fixed, realization comes very, very slowly. I spoke to you about our infrastructure within. Now the faith in God or faith in anything that is divine, also in the divine power, is not easy to achieve logically. Some people have faith in God because they have been taught from childhood that there is God. Maybe they think by relying on something like God somewhere in the air, they are doing better in life. There could be many reasons why people have faith in God. But actually, when you feel the presence of divine power within you and outside, it is hard to believe that it is the divine power. And even if you know all about it, it is difficult to assume it. It's sometimes a surprise to many Sahaja Yogis when they see around people who have got realization, who have got cool breeze flowing from their head, and they disappear. They just can't understand such people. Now, how it has happened that these people have come to a program one day, they have got realization, they have got cool breeze, and then they have disappeared. Are they the people who are little believers or half-baked or mediocres, or what is it? That they have no curiosity any further to go, or that they are not intelligent enough to understand that there's something very dynamic, something very new, very natural has happened to them. It is not a cult they can see for themselves, because as in a cult, there's a mass hysteria or some abnormalities. There's no abnormality. With these people, they are very normal. Despite all these things, all the proof to believe that there is divine power around us and that now it is flowing through you is there, but still people don't believe in it. Then why? What is the reason? We have to see what is the reason why we are not able to still accept that this is what it is. The time when great incarnations were on this earth, when people like Muhammad and people like Christ, Gautam Buddha, all these people came on this earth, very recently I should say, nobody believed that they are incarnations or they are Son of God. I mean, this is the only problem they had, to accept that he was Son of God. I mean, this was the only problem they were struggling, all of them, whether they were Jews or Muslims and such communities, they could not accept that he was the Son of God. I mean, what is the harm in accepting the situation, supposing he is the Son of God? After all, there's no property distribution going on. There's nothing like a will God has written that I'll give it to my son, that we should contest it. But people could not accept it. Now one may say that at that time that nobody felt the cool breeze. Nobody felt the connection with the whole. But today also the situation is the same. Situation is the same because of a simple reason that we ourselves are not integrated. We ourselves are not part of ourselves. Our mind is running one side, our body is running another side, our heart is running in another direction, our sense organs are running in a different direction, our liver is functioning in a different way. We are not at all integrated ourselves. And as long as this integration is not there, even if you feel the divine power, even if you see the working of the divine power, and mentally even if you accept that this is what is happening to us, it is there, and you see for yourself even the pulsation of the Kundalini, the rising of the Kundalini, the breaking of the Sahasrara, even then it is difficult to believe that Sahaja Yoga is the only way to have your rebirth. On this point some people will fizzle out. The others will fizzle out that why it's mother who has to do it. Then there could be other problems also with people, that why didn't happen to other people, they had to work very hard, and why didn't they get realization? How the mind works it is something very amazing. And as I know all the permutations and combinations of human negativity about his realization, I compassionately feel that it should be explained to them why they do it. I know it's very frustrating sometimes and people feel so disgusted. I've seen some Sahaja Yogis thinking that it's better to give up and cancel England out of the map of Sahaja Yoga or cancel France out of the map of Sahaja Yoga. But that's not the way. We have to understand that their own connections are not yet built in. For example, this machine on which I am speaking now is connected to the mains, all right. But if it is not connected within itself, it will not work out. Both things are important. That it should be connected outside as well as connected within. And that connection within is very, very much lacking in the modern human beings. There are many reasons for that. First of all, a big movement started long time back among human beings to deny God, to keep it at the most as a formal, discrete stuff. It's just a formal thing. You see, you don't talk of religion at all. You go to church, come back home, or you go to a temple, come back home, sit down, you are a so-called Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim or something like that. But don't discuss it. Because as soon as you start freely discussing religion in the real way, I mean, it's easy to give a sermon sitting on a pulpit, but to allow it to be discussed and logically sorted out, it's impossible to prove because it is mysterious. It is a tremendous power that works it out. This tremendous power that works it out cannot be understood by normal human beings. Cannot be. The working of this is so dynamic, and the dimensions into which it works out is so great that a human mind cannot understand it, a normal. Even a Sahaja Yogi, when he gets realization, is trying to understand first the dynamism of this divine power. And the dynamism of this divine power looks so simple, but they can't believe it, that it could be that simple. For example, if I say sitting down here, you can find out about anyone the way his Kundalini is. I mean, this is something people can't just believe. It's too much for them to believe. So suddenly if you are exposed to something so dynamic, so great, so vast, so effective, so efficient, it is impossible for human mind to understand that there's such a great thing existed all through. Because they never discussed it. They never talked about it. You're not supposed to talk about it and discuss it. That's the main thing. You cannot discuss religion. And how far do we discuss even science? Like they'll say there is gravity in the Mother Earth. All right. What is the nature of gravity in the Mother Earth? How is it there? Why is it there? On that point finished. Science doesn't give that reason. They just say there is a pull of gravity in the Mother Earth. Finished. Beyond that, they do not want to discuss. They just say, all right, up to this point and beyond that. So if you go to a man who is a priest or a religious man or one who is talking about religion, will say, oh, that's God's mystery. That's God's mystery. We cannot go. That's a mystery. So one says that you cannot go beyond that. It is so, and that's why we should not worry about God. The another one says, all right, this is the mystery, and the mystery we cannot unravel. So I'm not a believer in a thing that exists, or I'm the believer of a thing that exists, but I cannot explain. If you discuss a small thing, how is it a particular flower becomes a fruit? That is not discussed, you see. In elite society, it is not to be discussed. At the most, you can talk about weather, because there cannot be any quarreling. Even a thing like Falkland Island should not be discussed. Maybe some Argentinian is sitting somewhere and he will be hurt about it, you see. Or something might happen. So we are so careful as to what to discuss. But if people sit down and discuss it, they will know that there is a tremendous working of the divine power around. Can you count the amount of work it is doing? It's an impossibility. Like a flower becoming a fruit. Now take only one type of a flower. How many there are in the whole world? I mean, if you think of it, you just feel that it's too much. We just cannot. How this Mother Earth is moving with such a tremendous speed, and we are just settled down nicely here. How many such suns and stars and constellations are moving? There's no end to it. If you go to the microscopic side, just see the skin and you will be surprised that it is 1/16th of an inch has got such a beautiful organized layer which works out all the 5 functions of the skin. It is tremendous. And when seeing all these things in going into science, if man doesn't want to realize that there must be a power that is doing all these organized things, and there must be one organized personality or maybe a controlling thing that is working it out, then it means that they are trying to live with a myth because they cannot solve it. The myth is that there is no God. This is the biggest myth I have ever heard. And to believe into such a thing that there is no God is just to accept that as you are the highest of all, the Lord of all the world, how can there be anybody higher? This is one of the biggest hurdles of human beings in the modern times. In the ancient times, olden times, it was so, but it was not so much to this extent that now man thinks that he is on top of the world and that he is the one who can guide the whole world and who can manage this and manage that. For example, I cured a patient about 10 days back. I shouldn't say I cured because it just happened that she got cured through surgery. And she went to the hospital and the doctor saw her. And they said, no, it can't be. How can you be cured? How can you say you are cured? She said, I'm cured. I have no pain, nothing. I'm perfectly all right. And everything is functioning all right. But how can it be? You see, not to accept anything comes from a fright that if you accept something, if you accept that there is divine power, then perhaps you may have no position, no significance. So to be compassionate to people who get realization, you have to tell them that it is not that you are overpowered by the ocean, but you become the ocean. The drop becomes the ocean, not that the ocean overpowers. Then it may be that you can go further with the second step, where ego is little bit given assurance that you won't be finished. The infrastructure has this one problem, that ego has separated all your inner being into different parts. And anything that ego says or is pampered is good. Good and ego's happiness are regarded as equal to each other. Now, if you can overcome that first hurdle with people, that you become the ocean, that you become the guru, that you become empowered with your own powers, you have crossed some areas in a personality. And it's a fact. To begin with, it's a fact. But this area actually you get much later. But better to promise that highest, you see. Like people promise that if you do this, you will get the kingdom of heaven. All right, then what will you get? Then you will get the kingdom of Europe. Then you will get the kingdom of England. And like that, you see, it moves. But if you tell them that you will get the kingdom of your own self, they'll say, what's that? The kingdom of yourself? Such an insipid stuff. So you have to start from the big stuff, saying that you become your own guru. Then you become, which is a fact, you do become your own guru. But that happens much later. But still, if you tell them directly that you become your own guru, first, it will appeal to them. They can start thinking immediately, all right, if we become the guru, we'll start a big cult, you see. We'll have a big cult, we'll have so much, I'll also have Rolls Royces, 58 Rolls Royces, and I can demand this and that. All these things may start working in the mind of a person. Because the concept of a guru is also so nonsensical that it is not conceivable for people when you tell them you will become your own guru. But if you tell them if you will become your own guru, they'll feel happy. And that's the point you missed, I think, John, the other day when you spoke, that you will become your own guru, that you will become. But what does that mean? Actually, that means that your own religion within you, your 10 commandments within you will be enlightened. That you yourself will be correcting yourself all the time. That means you will guide yourself. Nobody else has to guide you. You yourself will guide yourself. It means that you will have such a willpower that you will keep to righteousness, to correct living, to normal behaviors, to the middle path of life, to be compassionate, to be loving, to be honest, and all those things will come to you automatically, that you'll give up all your bad habits. You will become your own guru, means that. And that is what, when you tell them before, it would be dangerous. So I would say that, first of all, if you have to say in a way that you will become your own guru, it should not be very much discussed and talked to people about, but is a fact that once our own void or our own religion within us, sustenance, power, becomes enlightened, if you see the light of that, then you enjoy that light, you enjoy your virtues, you enjoy your righteousness. And that righteousness, when you start enjoying it, you stick on to that. But that happens later. The problem is, first only you feel it's tingling or maybe cool breeze. But this enlightenment of your sustenance happens later when you start enjoying your virtues, enjoying the virtues of others, enjoying the righteousness. And that is what is a difficult thing among human beings. And because of this delayed action, people don't accept sahaja. Because they want everything in a very fast way. If they could feel the joy of enjoying the virtues and the righteousness just then they would not ask any questions. But in the structure of man, this comes later. Though you have to unravel that screw before, but it is put back the last. When the Kundalini rises in the void, it goes through this centralmost channel called as Brahmanadi. Is the centralmost among the three nadis which channel in the central channel. The central channel is Sushumna, and concentrically there are three channels placed, and the innermost is Brahmanadi. The other two are called as Chitra and Charini. Now the first one, it just goes like a single thread of hair and pierces through the fontanelle bone area. Now one may say that why not, you see, we can blame God for this. That why not he had only one channel so that we could feel the impact of realization very fast. But one has to understand that whatever God does is for our well-being and for our hita and for our understanding. If you go the other way around, you see, that when we start hurting our central path of Sushumna, we start from outside. Like, you see, if you go to a wrong guru, to a cult, or to a wrong thing where you bend your head, or you have faith in something that is artificial, then the first channel is broken, is hurt. Now supposing if the whole of the Sushumna channel was made of only one tube-like channel, then the whole thing would have been finished. So the first one, the outermost, is first attacked by our stupidity that we do, is to bow to someone who is a fake person. Or we go to things, we believe in things, who is fake. It is also harm in the people who are very arrogant and think no end of themselves. They think that we are the Lord of the whole world, that we can teach everyone and everybody has just to learn from us, that we are the best sect or the best organization or maybe the best religion or the chosen ones. Also there, first layer of the Charini is hurt. So at the very gross level, it is first hit by these two types of people. Now the second one also can be hurt by people who practice all kinds of nonsensical things. You see, like I've met many Sahaja Yogis who have been to all kinds of nonsensical things and have practiced very perverted type of practices, very perverted. And all kinds of perverted ideas. Like, you see, they will go to a cult. I've seen some people who have been to a cult, for example. And There it is preached that you should not even look at your wife or some sort of a thing, nonsense. And they are having relations with other women. Like there's another cult in India, I don't know, it is spreading here also perhaps, where people believe that you should never get married and you should live a very chaste life, you should be virgins. But the virgins have, what do you call to men virgins in English language? Or whatever it is, I don't know if you have any. But what you call them, men virgins, you see. We call them brahmacharis and brahmacharinis. So the brahmacharis, you see, the men virgins, I don't know if you have any cult like that, but I think the priests are here like supposed to be brahmacharis. So the brahmacharis and the brahmacharinis should lead a life of complete celibacy and should not marry. They should not marry. Not that they should lead a life of celibacy, you see, they should not marry. They should not marry, but there is no compulsion as to what sort of life you should lead. Now, it is such a contrasting thing. You should not marry for what? For leading a celibate life. And then with that, what is the other contrast you have? Is that you are leading a bad life with other people. That's allowed. These kind of perversions when we have in life, or all kinds of perverted things we are doing these days in modern times, all sorts of perverted things. That is the second nadi, which is the chitta. I mean, I can't even, I don't know so many things what human beings do, to what extent. But these are the buffer nadis outside. And that's why there's we can say the very subtle one, which is called as the Brahma nadi, is used by Kundalini. But first, to begin with, when she rises, she tests it. She tests you and finds out what sort of an attempt she is going to have. So only a thread will rise first of all. Because supposing, if there is a hit on, say, 5-6 threads, they are hurt. And then they become very weak, you see. And they fall down. So, a very subtle, one thread we can say out of that comes up to pierce the fontanelle bone area. Now this is the structure within us which does this. Is done the same way as a seed sprouts or any living thing happens, like a flower becomes a fruit. It's the same way. It's a living process. So when this one rises and pierces the fontanelle bone area, that time when there's a little touch with the all-pervading power which is subtle, by our subtlety, you start feeling this cool breeze in the hand. But still there are 2 more nadis surrounding it, which have to expand and get more of the Kundalini coming up. So now we cannot blame God for this kind of doing, because He knows that human beings are like this. We try all the time to ruin ourselves morning till evening. In every way possible. Sometimes trying to please our ego, or sometimes trying to please our superego, all our conditionings. First of all, we never accept any knowledge from anyone, which is true knowledge, and in toto, and we always want to try ourselves. Now, anybody who talks to us with authority, with that purity, and with that holiness, we don't like such a person. We abhor. But anybody who plays upon our weaknesses, upon our ego and superego, who is really harming us? And we are not aware that we are harmed by these things. We are not aware at all. Like person like Freud now. Freud must be really the category of Hitler. Hitler was on a very gross level, but Freud was a subtler one. He has ruined human beings. Absolutely, you can see that in Kundalini, how he has ruined the innocence of people. Their sense of shame, decency, decorum, which is a gross thing, And by putting perversions into their heads, now what we have are societies which are just like living like animals. And this is what one has to realize, that the people who talk about harming us, we accept them more than those who want to construct us. Now those who want to construct us will definitely tell you that this is not the way it has to happen. Because if they have real concern and real worry about you, they are not bothered about their cheap popularity. They are not bothered about pleasing you or anything, because there is no gain as such except for the satisfaction that you have told the truth to people. So this infrastructure that is within us, the more modern we become, the worse it becomes. And this infrastructure, if it gets spoiling more and more and more, then it is an impossible task to communicate with them or to inform them of the truth. Though they might feel cool breeze in the hand, they might get the experience and all that, but doesn't fit into their head. I have known people who have done that way, and sometimes amazing how thousands get realization and very few remain into that state where they want to gain the deeper significance of Sahaja Yoga. Unless and until they get to the deeper significance of Sahaja Yoga, they are not going to accept it. They are not going to recognize it. It's a sad thing, but it is so, that one has to touch the being very deeply, because it's a beautiful being which is being ruined by various things as I have described to you. There's no end to it. All these circumstances, keeping into view, one has to be very, very careful and compassionate towards people who are seeking and who are coming. Because these are seekers. Of the ancient times they have been seeking. Now, as the time has passed, of course, the communication of the divine has improved. Definitely it has improved. Because you have seen, we can give mass realization. People can get mass realization. You have seen in India, it can happen. So the communication from the divine power has improved. But the communication from the human power is reduced. Reduced and also is very much wounded. So if you see the Kundalini, I don't know if you can see the Kundalini of some people, or most of you will be amazed that it is really wounded Kundalini. She has hit many points which has hurt her. Because you didn't respect. You didn't respect her. You did not know how to respect her. Nor you could meet people who guided you properly how to respect that special thing that God has given you. The special blessing of this Kundalini which is within you. Is the premium. Is a very tender thing. It's so beautiful. It is eternal within you, which has to rise and give you realization. Now this is your mother, which is waiting for an opportunity to give you a realization. And this mother has no way to come up, because we have heard the path through which she has to come. And she is also jarred. I would say she is coiled like a tape within ourselves. This is the structure of this mother. She is coiled in 3.5 coils, and she has to rise. Now, think of a tape recorder which is put on a sea which is turbulent, and sharks are eating it off, and then it is burnt, All sorts of things that can be used to damage it have been done. Still, it is quite intact. Of course, there are little problems with it. It is still quite powerful. It is still expecting that great happening for which you are born, for which you are seeking, for which you are on this earth. She is there. You can't think of any human mechanism of that delicacy, that sensitivity, that beauty, that understanding, and that strength. It's hopeful against hopes. And that is the thing still preserved there because it is protected by your innocence, which is still there a little bit left. So whatever you may try with your innocence, as you cannot create a complete vacuum, you cannot get rid of it, the whole. So whatever part is left of your innocence is guarding that. And that essence is still waiting, is there. Whatever you might have done, whatever wrongs you might have done, makes no difference because Kundalini is intact. But what is the problem is the other way around, that the mechanism of God is perfect. The mechanism of divine power to give realization to thousands is absolutely in perfect state. Absolutely, I can tell you. But to make your brains understand the importance of yourself, of your being, of your purpose, of your meaning is difficult. Because it is not integrated. Your heart does not know your brain. Whatever happens to your heart is not communicated to your brain. If you reasonably see certain things and logically see something happening, still your heart may refuse if it's a weak heart, if it has weaknesses. But the Kundalini has the beauty to strengthen your heart, to strengthen your brain, to strengthen your liver, to strengthen all your being, and to integrate it. But she must be given a chance. If you don't give her a chance, you are not fair to yourself. People are fair to others, but when are they going to be fair to themselves? Ego is not the way we are going to be fair to ourselves. Because ego is a nonsensical horse on which we are sitting. It's like John Gilpin's horse, you see. It takes you round and round the places, reaches you nowhere for your wedding day. Is that kind of a nonsense? So if you are playing with John Gilpin's horse, and if you are satisfied with it and you think it's a big fun, we are harming ourselves. So to get to the real point is that to understand what is our infrastructure. The outside one is all right. We import things in India. We can import anything from India, for India. But we cannot take it to the villages. We have no way today. There's no road. So that structure within us has to be built in with our own coordination and cooperation. We have to cooperate with it. As God has taken all the care to build in the structure without, outside you. And also inside you He placed nice things. And you were the trustee of that, you were in charge of that. But it is spoiled. So you must give time for this inner structure to come up. Now some people are unnecessarily frightened also. I've seen some people frightened, I don't know what. Sometimes they think we are frightened of too much of purity or all sorts of things I've heard, of holiness, or they're frightened of anything. For such people I would say they should read God's words about it, that you should not be frightened. He is compassion. He is love. And these things are there. These are not the words of somebody who is giving you a sermon. I'm telling you the truth. It is there. But you have to come up to that point to feel that beauty of that truth, to enjoy that truth. And once you start enjoying that truth, then there's no problem for me. There are some here sitting, quite a lot of them, who have felt that way. But you have to have understanding that the inner structure is still to be rebuilt and completely integrated. And for this, you have to give some time to yourself, some patience to yourself, and some compassion. Not to be frustrated, disgusted with yourself. Some cases have been very difficult, I know. It's impossible. I have to be very strict with them. I have to thrash them, do all kinds of things. But still, there are cases which are to be thrashed out. Doesn't matter. We'll work it together. Somehow, we'll manage it. Thrashing doesn't mean real thrashing, but thrashing with love. And all these things have worked out with so many, so why not with you? But you have to know one thing, that you are seekers of ancient times. And this is the time that was promised, and this is the way you are going to get it. There's no doubt about it. And instead of doubting it, please have it. Take it within yourself, allow it to permeate, work it out, and see for yourself that the power you have got is the power of God's love. May God bless you. Thank you. I would like to have some questions, if you have any. It will be a good idea. Somebody should come here too. I mean, sometimes, I can't hear some of their languages. I have a language problem. Gavin, can you come down here? It's only this lifetime I've learnt English language. Otherwise, I never knew that before. Just anybody who wants to ask a question, please ask. Please, go ahead. Not to be afraid of or frightened of anything. This is a temple. You No questions. It's very good. Yes, my dad. Oh, that's true. You see, to begin with, you have to have your realization so that you get the light within yourself. But the light is not so clear cut in the beginning, alright? Then you have to have your chakras cleared out, and you have to have your kundalini up there all the time to feel the whole thing working out. And for that, we have certain suggestions for you how to clear out. Because you start feeling your chakras on your fingertips to begin with. You see, you start feeling them. So you know that supposing now this chakra is catching, for example. Now in your case, this one is catching, alright? Why? Because you have a weak eyesight. Weak eyesight. If you have a weak eyesight, then you see here, the cerebellum becomes weak at the back, alright? Now how to get better eyesight, how to get that portion corrected, we have a particular method by which we do. See, by light, you have to put the light here, then the sun's rays you have to take it in a particular way, and a little exercise is there which one has to do. You'll be amazed, you may have to give up your spectacles very soon. It's like that. What I'm saying, that it is pertaining to all the chakras on both the sides, means left and right. Now the left side is the emotional side, and the right side is the physical and the mental side. Now whatever are problems on the left side and the right side, we have different methods by which we can correct. Now, if one method doesn't work out with you, maybe another may work out, but it does work out. As it is, the upsurge of the Kundalini itself solves many problems. Upsurge of the Kundalini. So the best thing to keep your chakras clear is to first of all keep your heart clean, you see. You should keep your heart clean. Means you should not allow bad thoughts to walk in. Now, how do we do that? How to? Because if you are at the point, this one is a thoughtless awareness point, then there is no thought. The first thing one has to do is to achieve that position when you are thoughtlessly aware. And that's not so difficult. There are so many ways by which you just sustain that position. First of all, you jump out. Absolutely, you get the vibrations here. But then to put it down here is important. Because unless and until the Kundalini is kept here, the thoughts start coming from all the sides, and then you cannot work it out so well. But it works so fast, you can't imagine. I have known people who were alcoholics, next day they just gave up, next day just they gave up. There are people like that. Druggist and chemist, I call them. Just one day over, finished. Over. It can be like that. So, you see, it depends on, but doesn't matter, not to get disgusted with yourself. You must love yourself. That's the main point is, that if you love yourself as I love you and I'm bothered about you, it will work out. It will work out. Beg pardon? You have to? Yes. You have to love yourself. And in love, we don't try to harm ourselves. You see, a mother who loves a child, she will also tell that, no, don't do this. It's not good. Supposing the child is trying to put finger into some fire, something, isn't it? That's what happens to you. You start guiding yourself. You just don't do it. It just happens to you. You get that kind of a personality which does what is right. Right for yourself. And it is such a mutual thing, you see. But you must have patience, what I'm trying to say there. Don't get impatient with yourself. If you get impatient, then love is decreased. Love is decreased in you. Alright? So you have to have patience with yourself. Because it may be, there might be some chakra is not clean as yet. Maybe, possibly. But when we have cured people who are suffering, say from blood cancer, who are a great Sahaja Yogis today, so why not you? I mean, it's very easy. It has to be easy because it's a living process. All right? It's all free. Absolutely 100%. 100%. Everything is absolutely free. You should. Because you can imagine, if you love yourself, how much fees are you going to pay? See, this is that much absurd to say to pay fees for love. You can't imagine a person who just loves you, just loves for love's sake. Can you think of someone? In our concept we can have someone, maybe. I think you had it in your concept, otherwise I would not have been here. There is no fees, you don't talk of fees. Alright? No question. Everything is free. All my love, everything. I don't know. I don't understand money. You'll be amazed, I'm hopelessly bad. I just don't understand money. I'm so bad that I just don't know anything. If you ask me to cash one check in the bank, I'll have to ask Gavin to do right for me. I really don't know. I just can't learn about it. Alright? But love I know. That I know very well. And you will also know. It's absolutely free. So, just don't worry on that point. It has to be. It's this air. What do we pay for? Nothing. Now we have, of course, a place where people can stay, and it's quite a nice place, and for your stay you have to pay about, they charge £15 per week, that's all, for staying in London. Some nice place we have got. Of course that I will not pay for your stay there. That's what you have to pay for if you are staying there, for your room where you stay. It's a very nice place, it's a huge big place. For that you have to pay £15 as rent for the room. That's a different point. But you don't pay for my vibrations or for my knowledge or for anything. Alright? It should be made clear cut. It doesn't mean it's a charity hospital where people can come and stay free, have food free. That's not the point. For your food and for your stay you have to pay. Absolutely. Not only, but all the attention you will have free. All the complete attention. Absolutely free. Is that clear now? It's amazing, isn't it? But it is so. Yes, it is so. All right. What else? Is a good question he asked. Very sweet question, you know. Who says that? Can I see the gentleman? All right. Not at all. You have read. You see, these are the people who are naive. Not only that, but they are the people who do not know a word about Kundalini. Now here are so many people sitting here. Kundalini is your mother, and awakening her, how can there be a danger? Will there be a danger if you have to sprout a seed? It's a living process. How can there be a danger? You see, these are stupid people, or those are unholy people, unauthorized. They don't know a word about Kundalini. They try to put their hands onto wrong things, do all wrong things. It can be a possession. It can be anything. They don't know a word. They have no authority. You have to have authority. Divine authority should be there to raise the Kundalini. Like the Mother Earth, if you put, say, a seed in the Mother Earth, it will sprout. But supposing you open it and operate it and try to take out the primule, it will die. All right? There's no danger at all. There's no danger of any kind. How can there be? It's a living process. Apart from that, it is your breakthrough. It is your second birth. Even when you were born, you never felt any pain. The mother had to go through. That's it. You don't have to feel anything. Of course, the other Sahajogis might feel your chakras and might feel a little pain here and there. But it's very little recording to know where you have the pain. But once you become a Sahajogi, when you become an expert and you start giving realization, then you will also know about it. There is no danger of any kind at all. No, you have to have divine authority to awaken it. It's a living process, as sprouting of the seed. You understand my point? So if you are, say, ordained, not through any church or any temple or anything, but it's a God's ordained. You see, like we can say John the Baptist had that power when he came on this earth, and there were many in India who had this power, who are ordained, I should say, who have a divine power within them flowing, who are capable of raising the Kundalini. They do it without any trouble. Even seeing them, you might get your rising. You see, from my photograph, Gavin has got realization. He got his realization from my photograph. Can you believe? From my photograph only. So many got it from my photograph. So, it can happen. It is a thing which is to be understood with proper patience, that God exists and He has His own methods, His laws, and the way He works out is dynamic. Once you become that dynamic being, you start seeing those working through your own hands. You do it. Now in New York, 2-3 Sahajogis cured a blood cancer patient, and the patient went out of the hospital. I was not there. They cured. They just cured a blood cancer. You can do that yourself. Yes, it is too fantastic, isn't it? But it is. It has been promised. See, I was reading Quran and I was amazed that many a times it is the day of resurrection, the knowledge will be given to you. The day of resurrection, you will know all about this mystery. All this was written in there. And what are these Muslims doing now? What are the Christians doing and what are the Hindus doing? Just tell. They are fighting over whether they should play some music before the masjid or not. That's all. It's stupid. It's all so gross that if you start thinking from that angle, I mean, we really get lost. We don't know. In the same way about Kundalini, those people who have written, I was amazed, a big book like that, you see, was saying Kundalini is in the stomach. I said, how can that be? It is not. You can see with your naked eye. Sometimes I will show you if somebody has a big obstruction in the Nabhi chakra, then you see it pulsating nicely, this triangular bone, very nicely, clearly you can see. You can see the movement of the Kundalini with your naked eyes. You can see the piercing of it. Absolutely without any harm to the person. On the contrary, the one who gets realization never gets any pain. That's the worst part of it. I wish they could get a little bit to know that there is problem. Only those who are giving realization get it a little bit, like the mother gets the pain in the way. But not the ones who are getting it. They don't feel anything bad about it. Supposing a madman comes here, you see, and sits here, and he hits you. He doesn't feel anything that he's hitting you or anything. It's only you feel that you are hit. It is like that. Anybody comes with a problem here, you see, we feel a little pain here and a little pain there, but they don't feel anything. And we have to work it out on them and clear out, because who is the other? They are within us. To feel ourselves all right, we have to treat them. And how can we pay for that? For treating ourselves, how can we pay? You see this point? Who is the other? They are part and parcel of you. Then you can't take any money, you can't grudge anything, all right? You have to. It's so simple as that. Can't believe it, isn't it? Because you have read too much about Kundalini. Actually, you see, these people have no authority to write. But everybody can talk about God, about Kundalini, anything. You see, that's the trouble. Who's going to stop them? There's no legal control over them. Anybody can say whatever they like. You see, about Christ, anything, they write anything about anyone. I'm amazed to see all this. But what to do? There's no legal protection for God. Any more question, please? There should be no fear of any kind. The day has come for you to have realization, you are going to get. Only what request I have to make is that even if you get realization today, just don't stop it at that point. That's all. You have to go further with it, to correct yourself fully, to be the master. This is one thing you have to promise yourself. Because we'll work very hard and we'll do anything that is possible, everything that is to be done, we'll really work very hard. And it will be brought out. You will feel your realization. But I have to make very humble request that you should not very speedily stop coming and think that, oh, now I've got realization finished. No, it's not that. All right? That's something people feel. Because sometimes they feel so elated at the first stage that they say, oh, now I've got realization finished. And then after 1 year they come down with some sort of a problem. That's not good. It grows slowly. Sahaja Yoga itself has grown very slowly in this country and has taken its roots now gradually. And I'm sure it will take its roots into the hearts of many, because this is a special country according to my own understanding. All the knowledge, everything is free again, I say. All right? Now should we have realization? Let's have it. All right? So, can you take out your shoes? We'll help you a little more. You have to little bit coordinate, because this Mother Earth, she helps to suck out lots of our problems. So just take out your shoes. And I hope it's not very cold down there for you people. Just take out your shoes. That's all. Just to take out your shoes. I find some very good people today. There are some nice speakers. Better to come in front. All those who have come for the first time is a good idea. not to have any apprehension, nothing. It's just you become because you're ready. It's like, as I said, that an egg becomes a bird. That's what it happens. All right. Very good. Now, we have to know that as we have shown here, there are on these tips of our fingers, first we feel the centers that are within us. And these are 7 centers. This is the first center, second, third, and then the fourth, fifth, sixth, and the seventh. No, I'm sorry, sixth and the seventh. These are the centers here. Now these centers are 7 and these centers are 7. These join together to form the central part, like this, you see. So the left side and the right side. And to feel, I mean, medically also they accept that the sympathetic nervous system is expressed on the fingertips, that's all. They have reached to that point and they accept that. So when you put your hands towards me like this, just like this, and close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Keep your eyes shut for one reason, that when the Kundalini rises above Agya Chakra, that is where my red mark is, then the pupils get dilated. So if your eyes are not closed, then the Kundalini doesn't rise above that. So better keep the eyes shut for the Kundalini to rise above that center. Just